And tomorrow evening, all three of the candidates, Mamdani, Cuomo, and Sliwa, will share the same stage. What will happen? What should happen? I don't believe that much will change the dynamics of this race, but I want to hear from you folks. What do you think is going to happen on that debate stage? You know, the best thing I can say about debates, no matter who the candidates may be, and it's a quote from Mike Tyson, and it really applies to debates. It really does. A famous Mike Tyson quote, the boxer, and that is Mike Tyson said, the legendary boxer, everybody has a great strategy until they get punched in the face. And that's what a live debate is like. It's going to happen, the first one of the general election. All three candidates have a lot to lose. A lot is on the plate. This as there are some developments that could benefit Cuomo. Mayor Adams, the incumbent mayor who dropped out of the race, says he is in conversation with Cuomo over a potential endorsement. And Eric Adams is going to get a lot of credit for that because he hates Cuomo's guts almost as much as Governor Kathy Hochul does. But Adams knows what the stakes are, and he's setting up this endorsement. Remember what Adams said about Cuomo about, a month ago? He called him a snake and a liar, And now he's in talks, in conversation with Cuomo over a potential endorsement. Interesting, the debate. Meanwhile, the president of the United States continuing to sound off on Mamdani. And I think we know Trump is not playing. He says you can bring your antics all you want to if you're elected. You will not be receiving federal money. This from the president of the United States.
Thank you very much.
It's a great question. It's a little like New York. You know, you're reading in Argentina about New York. We have a problem. We have a communist who's 33 years old, doesn't know a damn thing. Practically, he's never worked a day in his life. And he sort of caught on, right? And I'm not going to send a lot of money to New York. I don't have to. You know, the money comes all through the White House. And if they're going to be sending us stupid policies, communist policies, which is proven for thousands of years doesn't work. You know, we don't have to prove it again. We're not going to ruin one of our great cities because we'll make that great. We will clean up the crime in about 30 days. It took 12 days to do Washington, D.C., so New York is bigger. And Chicago, we've already made a lot of progress despite fighting from the government, but Chicago's doing great. Memphis is doing really great. You know, we have great support there from the political leaders. They said, please come in and clean up crime. And we love it. We've in 1 week, Memphis is so good. It's so much better. We'll have it within a month. We'll have that into a safe city again. And all of these cities, we want to clean them up. We don't like that opposition.
The president of the United States, President Trump. So it's going to be interesting. Again, tomorrow evening, the candidates, the first debate in the general election will sound off. It's going to be very, very interesting. We see all of your calls, and I really want to hear from you folks. I want to hear your perspective. But listen, I'm going to listen to you. But please, don't start with this pie-in-the-sky emotional nonsense. Let's have a rational conversation. 800-848-9222. Let's start with James, line 4 in Brooklyn. James, what's on your mind?
How you doing, Dominic? I was just going to say, you know, I'm a conservative. I was considering possibly voting for Cuomo this time around because I would rather have him than Mamdani, and I understand what you're saying about Sliwa not having a chance. But I got to tell you, I just, my memory of just what happened during COVID and the riots in the streets, and I was just so pissed at Cuomo for not stepping in and doing anything and allowing de Blasio to just get away with what he was doing with the city. And I can't bring myself to do it. And I think I'm going to sit this one out. I can't vote for the guy.
And that's fine. You do understand that that's a vote for Mamdani. By you staying home and not voting, that's exactly what Mamdani wants you to do. His base is going to turn out. You are voting for Mamdani. You do understand that, right, James?
I hear what you're saying. I do, and I think it's a strong, legitimate point that you're making. But I was just so disgusted by Cuomo. I was just so disgusted by him.
I hear you. You're standing.
He let the.
No, I hear you. I hear you. We don't have to repeat it all day long. I got it. You're standing on your conviction. That's the choice that you're making. But just understand that it is clearly a vote for Mamdani. James, thank you for the great call. Let's go to Smithtown, New York. Let's say hello to Kathy on line 3. Kathy, what's on your mind this afternoon?
Hi, good afternoon. I just question the polls because I know that my daughter, who's a liberal, who lives in Brooklyn, she drives me insane, and my granddaughter, who also lives in Brooklyn, she's 21 years old, she's gay. I know they are not voting for Mamdani, that they want to vote for Curtis, but they think that in the end they're probably going to vote for Cuomo so that Mamdani doesn't get in. But they've never been polled, and I'm sure there's a lot of people like that.
Well, I hear you, Kathy. I'm not going to rack my brain out and have the regular conversation that the polls are accurate in this case. You know, you want to believe that they're not accurate? We'll find out in a matter of under 3 weeks, won't we? Right?
Yeah, yes, we will. Thank you, sir.
And so thank you in regards to your daughter. So you have 2 daughters that live in New York City.
No, I have a daughter and a granddaughter.
A daughter and a granddaughter.
Yeah.
Okay. But the granddaughter's not old enough to vote, correct?
She's 21 years old.
Oh, so she is. So your daughter and granddaughter are voting. And you said they're considering Cuomo or they're considering Sliwa?
They want to vote for Curtis, but they think that their vote may be wasted, so they may vote for Cuomo.
Fair enough, Kathy. Thank you for the wonderful call. Dominic Carter here with you folks. I'm coming right back to your calls on whatever issues that are on the screen right now. But the president of the United States, and I reflected on this just yesterday, as I mentioned yesterday, every time, and I'm in shock as I look up. I didn't want to say this until I was sure. Mamdani is in a one-on-one interview with the Fox News channel right now. It's billed as an exclusive, and so I'm sure that he's going to be pressed on some issues, but he's slicker than slick, folks. Believe me when I tell you, this young boy is slicker than slick. He knows how to give the answers. He knows how to evade. He knows how to attack Jews and Israel without directly doing it in the process of that interview. And so we're monitoring the interview that he's doing live. Well, we know he's doing it with Fox right now. And he's talking about the ceasefire and the future of Hamas. So should something come up from this interview, we are monitoring it right now, and we will bring it to you. But I want to go back to President Trump before we return to your calls. As we all know, he rushed off on Air Force One to Israel, rushed off to Egypt, rushed back to the White House to make the ceremony for Charlie Kirk. And, you know, folks, and when you think about Charlie Kirk, it still hasn't set in with me that this man was speaking at a rally. He was not harming anyone. He was trying to unite people, no matter what you may read or hear about Charlie Kirk. And he took a fatal bullet to the neck. And I just think it's horrible. But the president even commented on the fact that he rushed back to make the ceremony.
As you know, only hours ago, I returned from a very historic trip to secure peace in the Middle East. People said that couldn't be done. Charlie felt it could be done. Charlie felt it could be done. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. But I raced back halfway around the globe. I was going to call Erica and say, Erica, could you maybe move it to Friday? And I didn't have the courage to call. But you know why I didn't call? Because I heard today was Charlie's birthday. And I said, you know, that was a definite. And I said, we're going to have to forget about some of those very big, very rich countries that expected me to be there. And I can tell you, based on the length of that flight, I wouldn't want to go back tomorrow. But I would not have missed this moment for anything in the world. Nothing. And it's a very important time for our country, and our country is doing so well. It's never done better.
The President of the United States, Dominic Carter, here with you. We see all your calls. I'm going right back to them. But I got to stop for a moment because this is important. Kamala! We've got to talk Kamala. Kamala, it's intervention time. We need to get the people closest to you, Kamala, around and tell you that you need some help, Kamala. Kamala, something is going on. The elevator is not going to the top floor. I don't think it ever went to the top floor, but it's not going to the top floor. It's not. Kamala bragging about how great she is before suggesting, no, she didn't. Yes, she did. That she is the most qualified presidential candidate in the United States of America. Kamala! I didn't say Willie Brown, folks. I didn't do it. I don't have to. We all get a start one way or another, right? Obama comes to town. She's just the attorney general. And he says, that pretty woman over there, her career catapults. She becomes a senator. Then Biden says, get me that pretty black woman over there. I'm going to ride her all the way to the White House. And that's exactly what he did. While I stay in my basement. Kamala! So Kamala, it's intervention time. You're like Uncle Joe. Uncle Joe, go sit down in the corner. You had a little too much to drink. Uncle Joe, give me your car keys. Uncle Joe, go take a nap. Aunt Kamala, maybe had a little too much to drink. Maybe Kamala, man, go sit down. Go take a nap. Most qualified. It is intervention time. What is wrong with this lady? What is wrong with Kamala? You don't believe me? Listen to her.
What I've done and the fact that I was elected district attorney for 2 terms as the first woman elected attorney general of the state of California, ran the second largest Department of Justice in the United States, second only to the United States Department of Justice. I was the United States Senator, second black woman elected in the history of the United States Senate, and I was the first woman vice president of the United States. So there are those things that I needed to make sure that people knew.
That is a decent resume, but go ahead.
Well, some people have actually said I was the most qualified candidate ever to run for president.
I like the some people say. Very nice, but go ahead.
I'm just speaking fact.
Yeah.
But for example,
Auntie Kamala, it sounds like perhaps you had a little too much of the sauce right there in that clip. And folks, whenever you hear a politician say, some people say, that means I'm patting myself on the back and I'm trying to give myself cover, because what I really mean is I think, Kamala, it's intervention time. You need some help. We're coming right back. The debate for New York City mayor a little more than 24 hours away. This is Mayor Adams says he's in conversation with Cuomo over a potential endorsement. Let's go back to your telephone calls. Mark, Staten Island, line 5. What's on your mind, Mark?
Hey, Dominic. Good afternoon. I don't get it. Curtis is a bright guy, and he said he loves New York, but he single-handedly almost handing Mamdani the mayoralship. Is it a money thing, Dominic, that he'd have to pay back the matching funds?
That's part of it. Really, yes, it is a money thing. But but not just for Mr. Sliwa. For all 3 of these guys, you have to understand their egos. I guess the same thing could be said about me, but their egos are humongous. All three of them. Right? And it is a money thing, because if Mr. Sliwa drops out, but it's something that could be easily solved because if he did what the president wanted him to do, the president would make that money up for him in a matter of 5 minutes in terms of from fundraisers. So it is a money thing, but Mark, quickly go ahead before I move on.
No, I just don't get how Curtis, who says he loves New York, is staying in this thing, and his 15 or 17% could swing over to Cuomo and hurt Mamdani. It may not. Mamdani may still win, but in the meantime, at least give him more of a fighting chance, you know?
Mark, thank you for the call. Let's go to Catherine. And by the way, Mamdani is still doing that Fox News interview as we speak. Catherine in Maryland, what's on your mind, Catherine?
Great respect for you. Not going to take your time. I've always believed in your outcome. Who's going to win for the mayor?
Catherine, well, I got it. Let's lower her because we're getting feedback. Catherine, I'm going to pull back from stating who's going to win for right now because this is not about me. And you have a lot of emotional people about this race that are absolutely delusional. And so I've already gone on record for who's going to win this thing, but it's not about me. It's about the voters of New York City and what they are going to do. That's what it is about. Thank you so much for your call. I've got to take a break. We are coming right back. At one point, he's asked by the Fox News channel if he will give President Trump credit for the ceasefire. What are you talking about? I don't know. It's too early. This is what you're going to get for the next 4 years. Not my fault. I said, but wait a minute. Let's look. Listen to Mamdani on whether or not he'll give President Trump credit.
Obviously, New York City policy is front and center, but I would imagine that some of the big headlines recently are going to come up tomorrow night as well. So I want to get to all the policy issues in New York, but I wanted to ask you this first. If you are asked tomorrow night if you give credit to President Trump for the ceasefire between Israel and Hamas and the return of the 20 living hostages, would you raise your hand?
You know, first I want to say it's a real pleasure to be here. And thank you for having me. And it's an honor to have this opportunity to speak to so many New Yorkers and Americans across the country. And when it comes to the ceasefire, I am thankful and I have hope that it will actually endure and that it will be lasting. And I continue to have concerns because I've seen reports still just this in the last few days that 5 Palestinians were killed by the Israeli military. And that's what gives me pause about issuing any kind of praise or celebration at a moment when it is still so in its infancy. And what I will tell you is that in that same moment, it is also one that requires a focus on ensuring that that hope, that belief in a better future is one that is emblematic in our policies right here in New York City as well. And that's what we're hoping to lead with.
So would you give President Trump credit or not, to any extent? Credit or not?
I think it's too early to do so.
Too early to say.
But if it proves to be something that is lasting, something that is durable, then I think that's where you give credit.
And you see, this is what I'm trying to tell you, folks. He thinks you're stupid. Here's what he really means. Let me duck, bob, and weave until I'm elected. And then once I'm elected, I'll tell you, no, I'm not going to give him credit. He thinks that you're downright stupid. And guess what? It's worked for him thus far. So now this guy has a set of cojones. Now he's 33 years old. He's only managed 5 people. And he's going after Cuomo on experience in this Fox News interview. Mamdani, speaking with Fox News, says Cuomo uses ChatGPT to answer many questions, including how to resolve the housing crisis in New York City. You can say many things about Cuomo. Cuomo gives you his own answers. He does not use ChatGPT for answers. Cuomo was the National Housing Secretary under Bill Clinton. Mamdani, you're 33 years old. You've managed 5 people. Boy, do you have cojones.
If you want to be the mayor of New York City, which, last night I ChatGPT'd, where is the capitalist and global finance center of the world? And it said New York City, which made me feel good as someone who loves New York City. Is that a moniker that you're proud of and one that you want to continue for this city?
We should be proud of it, and I will also say that that's one thing you have in common with Andrew Cuomo, because he also uses ChatGPT to answer many questions, including how to actually resolve the housing crisis in this city. And
Right.
It's time that we are not only proud of us being the financial capital, the cultural capital, but also we should make it a capital of where working people can afford to live in this city. Because right now what we're seeing is that 1 in 4 New Yorkers are being priced out of the wealthiest city and the wealthiest country in the history of the world.
That's absolutely true. One of the things that's also true.
Mamdani, I got to give it to you. I really got to tip my cap to you. You are slicker than slick. I have covered politicians for 40 years, and you, a complete airhead, are slicker than slick. Mamdani, I guess I should get used to saying Mayor Mamdani. Oh, my God. Folks, voters in New York City right now, how could you go for this okey doke? How could you do it? I'd rather elect Mickey Mouse than elect Mamdani as mayor of New York City. Let's go to Danny, line 4, Long Island. Danny, what's on your mind?
I know you're going to hate me for it. I got 2 sons in the police department.
I'm not, Danny, I'm not, I took your call, right? You don't think I already know what you want to talk about? I'm not going to hate you. You're entitled to your opinion. Go ahead.
The Democrats and the Republicans both had a primary. Andrew Cuomo lost, and now me as a Republican conservative voter, I have to change my vote for someone who I despise. Let the city burn down. Sometimes you have to get to the bottom before you can rise up again. If the people who aren't old enough to remember before Rudy, who didn't live through the comeback, who don't think it's possible, let them see it. And then 4 years from now, when we have another election, we will have a Republican mayor and a Republican governor, because the young people would have seen what the oil salesman actually did. So I'm not going to vote for Cuomo. I despise everything about that man, just like Mamdani. I vote for Curtis, but I'm not changing my vote. What happens next time? Do the Democrats do that again?
Okay, so hey, Danny, let me ask you a question. So you started out, you said you have 2 sons that work for the NYPD?
The 3rd going in the academy next year.
Congratulations. That means you're an outstanding dad. Congratulations. But I want to ask you a question, and this is personal for me right now, right? So I know a few of you don't believe it, but Curtis Sliwa really is my friend, and I'm concerned about him going forward. You just said let the city burn. Okay, fine, let it burn. But what happens to Mr. Sliwa the day after the election? Danny, he can't call the White House for help. The president's not going to answer his phone. Those billionaires that he talk about every day, they're going to turn their backs on him. And his credibility is going to be shot, completely shot. They're going to say he's a spoiler. What's going to happen to Mr. Sliwa?
This won the Republican candidacy. He has every right.
No. He ran unopposed for the Republic. See, people, we don't know the facts. Nobody else wanted it because nobody else wanted to be the loser. There was no other Republicans. 4 years ago, there was a primary for the Republican nomination. This time, Mr. Sliwa ran unopposed. There was nobody else. Well, ask yourself, why is it no other Republican in New York City wanted to honor the honor of running for mayor? Why is it, ask yourself, Danny, that the President of the United States wants Mr. Sliwa to lose? Answer that question for me, Danny.
I can't. I don't know why, the reason why no one else wanted it is because it's a losing race. They can't win. Curtis gave it a shot. Whether there was one candidate or 10, he won fair and square.
No, there was only one. How could you win in it if you're running unopposed?
President Trump won.
We're talking about the Republican primary of New York City. It was unopposed. Nobody else wanted it. No one. You see, at some point, Danny, I respect what you're saying. And as of right now, the president is speaking from the Oval Office with the FBI director. And you know what, Danny, thank you for the call. I've got to dip in. We're going to dip in right now to the president and listen to what he actually has to say. Okay, so we're trying to get that to you right now. Let's go to Richard, line 5 in Florida. Richard, what's on your mind?
Dominic, great show. The key for this debate, I hope the monitors ask the real questions. I hope they keep the task. I hope they don't throw softball questions to Mamdani. And for these candidates who are going to debate this man, bring facts. Bring what's going to happen to the financial status of New York. Think about the crime. Let them bring the facts. Bring the numbers. Don't go dissing him. Bring facts. Let the people know what's going to happen in that bay.
Richard, facts are not going to work. See, you got to understand how debates happen. Mamdani would love that. For them to come with facts, because that his job is to eat up the debate time as fast as possible and say absolutely nothing. And for Mr. Cuomo and Mr. Sliwa, they're trying to throw a haymaker that's going to connect, and it's Mamdani's job to keep bobbing and weaving. If you sit up there and bore people with facts, you're playing exactly the game that Mamdani wants you to do. But go ahead, Richard.
But I understand. But when I mean fast, is what's going to happen if he becomes mayor? That's
okay. Okay, that's a little different.
Like,
okay.
The facts I bring that if he wins, this what's going to happen to the police department. This what's going to happen to the board of education. People are going to leave. The store's going to leave. Business is going to leave. And they need to, if the moderator's going to do their job, and I hope they do their job, stay intact from Mamdani. Don't let him get away with nothing. Keep questioning him. You understand
right. And yeah, I do, Richard, but you got to understand that there are guidelines in a debate. And so you have moderate. So like my style was, and management would get mad at me because I would say, I wish I could tell you what I would really say in the meetings, but I would say, you know what? I'm just going to lay back and get quiet, and I'm going to force them to talk to each other. You have a lot of moderators that egos. This is my time to shine. To hell with these candidates. This is my time. And they want to sit up there and show you, the viewer, how smart they are. Look at me. I'm so pretty. I'm so smart. Look at me. Look at me, Mom. I'm moderating the debate. Then you add the lead anchors that know nothing about politics. I mean, absolutely nothing. They're just pretty boys and pretty girls. And what questions do I ask? And so it's not as easy as you think it is. It's a very tough format, in terms of a debate. Thank you, Richard, for the call. Let's go. Oh, we do have the president now. Let's go to the president at the White House.
Nashville, we saw a 250% increase in arrests. We got, and we really went after the bad ones. These include 725 individuals wanted for violent crimes against children and murderers. These arrests are in addition to the work of our historic federal task forces that Make D.C. Safe Task Force has been unbelievable. I mean, the job they've done, it's incredible. And it's been so nice because so many people, they're going out to dinner and they're having dinners. They didn't go out for 4 years. And now they're going out 3 times a week. Restaurants are opening. Restaurants are full. And usually that means a lot of good things. But restaurants that were closed are now opening up. And everybody's happy. It's nobody's ever seen anything like it, actually. And everybody feels safe. You can have a child walk right through the middle of Washington, D.C., and nothing's going to happen. We were losing more than one person a week in Washington. They're being killed on an average of over 1 a week. The Make D.C. Safe Task Force has been incredible. And the Make Memphis Safe Task Force is having...
Okay, so right now the president's talking about Memphis, Tennessee, in terms of law enforcement, federal law enforcement, national law enforcement coming in and doing a good job. Let's continue with your telephone calls. Tony, line 3 in White Plains. Tony, what's on your mind?
Yeah, Dominic, you were talking before about how Cuomo, he was... commissioner for the housing. I was born and raised in White Plains. I lived there all my life. We had a beautiful hotel here called the Roger Smith Hotel on Post Road. He turned it into a homeless hotel. He destroyed that whole area. And up until today...
Okay, wait, Tony, I'm not making excuses for him. How do you know he did it and it wasn't at the direction of his boss, the President of the United States, Bill Clinton? How do you know who did it?
Because he was in charge of HUD at the time.
He was in charge of HUD, so officially it's his name on it. But in politics, Each of these secretaries, they don't go to the bathroom unless the president approves. You do understand that, right?
Can I say something, Dominic?
As long as it's quick.
I wouldn't vote for Cuomo.
Right. That's where I thought you were going. That's where I thought you were going, Tony. That's where I thought you were going.
Dominic is done with you.
Let's go to the next call. Bill in New Jersey, line 1. Bill, what's on your mind?
How you doing? Dominic,
Bill, it's got to be quick. Please get to the point.
Okay. The liberals had this set up, this race.
The liberals had what set up this way, Bill? What are you talking about?
I'm sorry, the mayoral race.
Okay, go ahead, please.
No matter what happens, their man's going to get in.
When you say that man, who's that? I don't know what you're talking about. When you say that man, are you talking about Mamdani? You're talking, I don't have no idea what you're talking about.
Either Como or...
Okay, Bill, I'm 10 seconds from the next break. Get to your point. Okay, I'm out of time. We got to take a break. We are coming right back.
It's time for the Tunnel to Towers Foundation Final Thoughts.
And the Tunnel to Towers Foundation Final Thoughts of the day. It's remarkable. I'm looking at President Trump live right now at the White House with FBI Director Kash Patel. 48 hours ago, this man was in the Middle East. He was in Israel and then Egypt, and he's back at the White House going strong, continuing. We're going to move fast through these phone calls, folks. You got to get to your point. You got to know what you got to say. I have to hit it, quit it, move on to the next call. Let's go to Tony, line 5, Clifton, New Jersey. What's on your mind, Tony?
Dominic, the writing, like you said, is on the wall. I just listened for 2 minutes to Mamdani, Mayor Mamdani. Let's just say mayor and practice saying that. He was on a major news channel. He was being spoken to like he was already the mayor, and he received a lot of curtsies from the person who was interviewing him. Not one question was asked about anything controversial. He's in, Dominic. He's in.
Well, Tony, this is what I've been trying to tell you folks for weeks. And the way this goes down, remember, I know, all right? I dominated this in this city for 20 years. The way this goes down, for Mr. Mamdani to go to Fox News, it doesn't just happen. There are conditions, pre-existing conditions. Well, he'll come do the interview, but you can't do this. There are pre-existing conditions. Here's a perfect one. When I moderated the Hillary Clinton debate, right? Her team wanted as few people to see it as humanly possible. Mandated to do a debate, but they want as few people as possible to see it. So she decided to do the debate up in Rochester, New York, and if I remember correctly, no live audience. And so there are all types of strings that come into this. And so Mamdani, what he's doing now is he's giving you an air of confidence because basically it's his. Unless Cuomo can pull out some magic, Tony, it's his. Thank you for the great call. Let's go to Meredith, line 1, Bay City. Meredith, what's on your mind?
Well, I have just started listening to 77 ABC about 2 years ago, and the first person I actually heard was Curtis, and I love all of you guys. I can't even sleep because I need to hear you, all of you, all of the time.
I thank you, Meredith. I'm just short on time, so you got to get to the point.
I don't think anybody should make their mind up until the debate. And
That's
I
fair.
don't know when
That's
the
fair.
next debate.
The next debate, I believe, is it's about 2 weeks from now. If you're expecting some magic at this first debate, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. But I agree with you. It's okay to wait until the first debate. But go ahead quickly, please, Meredith.
Well, that's all I really wanted to say.
Okay, fair enough. Thank you. Don't be a stranger, please, and thank you for listening. We really want to hear from you. Thank you so much for your great call, Meredith. Let's go to Larry, line 3, New Jersey. What's on your mind, Larry?
Dominic, tell me why the Republicans don't have enough galloons to put up a real fight in New York. Why? Why? Because they got it too good already.
No, that's not why. They don't have the numbers. The numbers are not there. Why do you think nobody else wanted the Republican nomination to run for mayor? The numbers are not there. Why would you want to run to shoot yourself in the head? That's what it amounts to. No matter who the candidate is.
And a Democrat, for Christ's sakes.
Okay,
That's all I got to say.
Okay, well, thank you, Larry. Thank you, Larry. Nancy, line 1 in Westchester. What's on your mind, Nancy?
Oh, hi. I just have something real quick to say that we all love Sliwa. I used to call into his show and listen to him all the time.
Okay, Nancy, let me ask you, what does that have to do with being mayor?
Nothing, but I just want to say that leadership...
Nancy, I'm short on time. Please get to the point.
Okay, I just want him to realize that leadership doesn't mean that you always have to win. It's time for him to drop out, and that's real leadership.
That's deep, Nancy. I'm glad you said it and I didn't say it. Because if I said it, Nancy, on my Instagram, Carter, you sold Sliwa out. He was your boy and you sold him out. I didn't say it. Nancy said it. Nancy said it. Nancy in Westchester, don't be a stranger. Wonderful call. Thank you for that. Folks, to those of you that I didn't get to, I do apologize. Please understand, when I say we're short on time, I mean we're short on time. You don't have to start the call by saying, Dominic, I want to tell you about ABC. Just get to it. Folks, all it takes is $11 a month. Donate $11 a month to the Tunnel to Towers Foundation at T2T.org. That's T, the number 2, T.org.